In the 1800s, it would have been a common sight to see shepherd huts in fields. Certainly in England, Wales and Scotland, they all had certain areas, particularly the sheep rearing areas, where shepherd huts were used by shepherds to be with their flock, particularly at lambing time. But their history goes back much further, goes back to really medieval times, when huts of various descriptions were used by shepherds for the same purpose. This extended into Europe, France in particular. And so therefore the history of the hut is quite a long one. But after the 1800s, they started to peter out in terms of their popularity, as farmers were more likely to bring their sheep into the farm at lambing time and that sort of thing. And really by the 50s, 1950s, they really were used exceedingly infrequently, and they became right out of fashion. And it wasn't until the turn of the new century that one or two people saw the opportunity of taking old shepherd huts and renovating them and using them for different purposes. Original shepherd's huts were really quite small, and you could only get a shepherd, his dog, and a small stove inside them. They were very small spaces. As they've been used for different reasons, for different purposes, they've become bigger, and I suppose in the last few years, they've become much, much bigger. If you've got a double bed in there and a little stove and a seat, that's about all you'd get in, even as they started to become larger. Now, a 20-foot by 8-foot hut is quite common. Shepherd huts are inspirational spaces inside, and therefore creative people enjoy the environment, whether they are writers, songwriters, artists. These people are all using shepherd huts. If you were thinking of building a shepherd's hut yourself, then it's very useful to have a set of plans and a step-by-step guide. If you're building a fairly simple hut that has electrics in but doesn't necessarily have a shower or a kitchen in there, but has a stove and is fully insulated and clad and so forth, I think you should allow possibly 6 weeks, and that's sort of a husband and wife team, dare I say, working together on this.